Hi, everybody. Welcome to day 355 in the 1 Year Bible. With me is the family pastor.
Hi, I'm Stacy Philpott, and it is December 21st. We are 4 days away from Christmas.
That's
Do you love Christmas?
best time of the year for me.
What time do you get up in the morning? Are you one that like wakes up at 4 a.m. to open up gifts?
I feel like those days have kind of passed me a little bit, you know, but I was definitely waking up the parents back in high school.
Does Santa still bring you a stocking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, those are always fun. Well, today we're getting into Zechariah chapter 1.
Yeah.
And a few things I like to mention. Zechariah was a prophet who told of the coming Messiah, so he was kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
He made some bold claims, but they obviously came true.
Yeah.
And he had a vision regarding the Jews, where in verse 3 it talks about the Lord is very angry with your ancestors, and then states, "Return to me, declares the Lord Almighty, and I will return to you." So this definitely stood out to me regarding members of the family who are seeking a deeper relationship. So, as you know, I like to play baseball.
Yes.
I played baseball. I was very passionate. Played baseball my whole life.
Yeah, you're being humble. You're very good at baseball. You do enjoy it, but you are also very good at it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, so I played, high school, select, college, and a little bit of pro ball. And
I don't know what position you played.
I was infielder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I started out as short, and then I kind of moved around the infield where I played second, a little bit short.
Yeah.
And so once I started coming to church more, getting connected in connect groups, getting deeper into God's word, I started to feel a pull, something pulling me to do more than just what I've been doing. Get deeper into my relationship, basically, with the Lord. And so, long story short, I ended up quitting baseball, and the decision was pretty difficult, a difficult one for me. It took me personally a couple days to internalize the decision for myself. And then there's something that happened that was kind of difficult for me to kind of deal with, was telling my family.
And you've kind of gone back and forth between ministry and baseball for how many years now? Because you've been at Gold Creek for quite some time.
It's got to be pushing 5 years.
Yeah,
almost.
at least.
Yeah, at least.
And so when you say that you've had a pull, we've all seen it, because you come back into ministry and then you're all in, and then you have that pull towards baseball, which both are evidently a passion in your life, and there's great things about both. And so just before you get into what your struggle was with your family, like, I just want people to understand, like, this wasn't something you were taking lightly on either side, because you have been doing both for so long.
Yeah. And another thing I want to mention too is, like, there's nothing obviously wring with playing baseball and using that platform to glorify the Lord. You know what I'm saying? It was just something, something different for me, in my walk with the Lord. And so it came to a real surprise when I told my family that I wanted to end my career and kind of work at the church. And for me, it felt like I felt a little guilty. It felt like I was abandoning my family, things like that.
Because it matters to you what they think, and they've been encouraging you on this road and this path for so long.
They have. They're like, I'm not trying to put my family on blast right now.
But how are they? How are they towards your decision to follow ministry?
They are very supportive.
Yeah, that's great. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and so it's been awesome. But kind of going back to it is, like, it's me personally internalizing with my family. Nothing my family did necessarily that hindered it. It was more just me feeling that sense of the little bit of guilt and stuff. So and basically what I'm trying to say is our ancestry, sometimes when they're doing something a certain way, it's difficult to kind of branch out and do something different, especially something for the Lord.
Absolutely. Like I was mentioning to you, the thing that stood out to me was, as he keeps saying, your ancestors did this, don't be like them. And I know growing up, and I grew up in a very loving family, but there was some dysfunction, as I think most families have. And there were definitely times when I thought, okay, when I have a family, I'm not going to do that. And my kids won't experience that. And unfortunately, they have still experienced brokenness and heartache. And I've made some of those same mistakes. Now, I do think I've broken the cycle on a few things. And I had heard a pastor speak many years ago about how changing the blueprint of your life takes intention and discipline. And that is really the hardest part, to not fall back into what we know, what has been taught to us from the time that we were born and raised up, that there's things in us that we don't even realize are our natural tendencies. So that was a good reminder, just breaking the chain for a positive future moving forward.
Absolutely. So moving on, Revelations.
Well, before we get into that, one other thing with Zechariah, that every time it mentioned Zechariah, it mentioned that he was the son of, I'm going to butcher the name, but Berechiah, maybe?
Okay.
And grandson of Iddo. And we don't always see that it's mentioned the son of and grandson of. And I just thought, that must have been a great legacy, that it had to be repeated every time. So you are the son of who? What's your dad's name?
Chris.
And the grandson of, you probably have a couple grandfathers.
Yes, Larry, and I'm forgetting my mother's side.
You must have known Grandpa Larry
Christian,
a little bit better.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. But yeah, who we come from creates who we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So, Revelations, obviously some craziness going on.
The woman and the dragon. Yeah.
7-headed dragon, 10 horns. You mentioned.
Yes.
Basically I kind of summed, that woman giving birth, a man child who the Lord takes up to heaven, and then the Lord protects the woman for a certain amount of days. I think it was like 1,260 days. She protects the woman from the dragon on earth. But yeah, just a lot of craziness.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad that we've been able to do this Revelation for Dummies series, because I've read through this many times and I still put it aside and think, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So
it's hard to wrap the mind around it.
Absolutely.
So, Psalms.
Yeah. What I got from that is just, he continues to ask for protection over evil, over evil schemes, evil people, and really that vengeance would be taken from the Lord and not from himself. And as I've mentioned in other Psalm passages, our tendency is to want revenge, and that we can just ask for God's protection.
Just a simple, like, we'll let him take care of it. We get the job of forgiving and only encouraging, and he takes care of the rest.
Yeah. You make it sound like forgiving's like,
I know.
Yeah, that's a positive take on it. I like it.
But I agree with you. It's definitely not as easy as it is talking about it. But yeah, so I liked verse 12. It states, I know that the Lord secures justice for the poor and upholds the cause of the needy. I just think this is really special, just because, there's so many people. There's so many worries in this world, and I know money is, a big part of people and their influences. And it's just comforting to know that the psalmist talks about the Lord is gonna, he's gonna stand by you and bring about justice no matter what your financial situation. And
Absolutely.
It's awesome. Another thing, easier said than done. Trusting the Lord with your money.
Absolutely. Oh.
And then Proverbs.
That one I thought was great. I'll just share my 2 cents real quick, because I think you had a great just revelation with that. It's just a great reminder of listening to our parents, respecting our parents, and even when they may make decisions as we are adults that we don't always agree with, but they are still our parents, and God put us in their life and them in our life on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I thought it was very cool. Reading this Proverbs, it was perfect. It seems how it brought it full circle to me. Because obviously back in Zechariah, it talked about what we talked about, kind of going against maybe what your parents or what your ancestry's done. And then Proverbs, it talks about if you don't respect your parents.
It was kind of brutal.
Yeah. It was, you're basically, to put it nicely, you're going to die, but
it's short. So we can read it here. The eye that mocks a father and despises a mother's instructions will be plucked out by ravens of the valley and eaten by vultures. It's a little...
it doesn't sound appealing.
It's a little brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. But
so it's
parents. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, but it's like a balance almost, right? Yes. It's like you respect your parents, but then there's the other side of, being able to be obedient to the Lord, even if it means doing something different than what your parents have done for their whole lives and generations before them. And so it's very interesting. Something that I have been learning is the balance that I just talked about is something that we can't do on our own. I feel like we need the Lord to help us out, because it's a difficult task.
100%.
All right. Well, thank you, Stacy.
Yes, thank you. We should remind them about our Christmas Eve services.
Okay.
The 23rd and 24th. Go on the website, goldcreek.org, or our app to check out the service times for your campus. But I know at Mill Creek on the 23rd, it's 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock. And on the 24th, it's 12, 2, 4, 6.
Good thing you know that, because I had no idea. Thank you for saying that. Thank you guys for joining us. Hope you guys join us for day 356. Thanks.